What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a whole new project and it's right over here. It is our 1989 Jeep Wrangler YJ. We actually just got it from my wife's parents, specifically her dad. He's owned this for years. He recently bought another YJ that was in better condition. Now he had two, so he gave us one. So yeah, this is what we're gonna be working on. As you guys can probably tell, this thing is stuck on this trailer right now because our driveway is at an incline. We don't really have a way of getting it off. Oh, I didn't even say it doesn't run, so that's why it's our project. It doesn't run at all, doesn't start. So this video is going to be trying to get it to start, just so that we can take it off the trailer and back it into our garage. I already checked the fuel pump kind of while we were in Florida. I didn't check for spark, but oh man, this thing's wet. I left it outside yesterday. I did get a spark plug tested, so we're about to go see if we can get ignition. You only really need, I guess there's 4 things, but you only really need 3 things to get a car running, and that's air, fuel, and spark. The 4th one being timing, but that's just something that is kind of pretty rare. So right now I know I have fuel, I know it's getting air because there's the intake's off. So our last thing we're going to check is spark. So that's going to be our first thing. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Try again. They work. So it's been a whole day now. Yesterday we tried to start the vehicle. I did a couple troubleshooting. I know earlier I said we checked the fuel pressure. We did do that, I'll get to that in a second, but we also checked the sparks at all the spark plugs. All of them were good. The battery's charged, so that's not an issue. It's not the spark, it's definitely not going to be the air. So going back to the fuel thing, the only way that we checked it before we brought it here from Florida was that we disconnected the fuel filter, made sure that the fuel pump was cutting on, and it was. And while we were down there, we did replace the filter. I did more research last night, and I didn't know that these cars have a throttle body injector right? So older cars have carburetors, newer cars have fuel injectors and throttle bodies. This car being right in the middle, it's a 1989. It has a fuel inject throttle body, right? So the fuel injector is actually in the throttle body. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get my wife behind the camera to turn the key. I'm gonna look inside the throttle body and see if the fuel is actually spraying like it should. And right now, as you guys can see, the Jeep is in the backyard. We tried really hard. I think we got some footage. We tried really hard to put it inside the garage, but with our driveway right now being on a slope, it's kind of hard to push the Jeep up the hill and then back down into the garage. So we settled with this. It was actually pretty scary. I know that we got footage of this part. That's hilarious. It's just my wife and I, so all we did was there's no one in the car, and we just pushed the car off the trailer, hoping that it would stop. And luckily the Jeep is pretty heavy and the tires are pretty big, so as soon as it was on flat ground, it stopped rolling. So yeah, so now we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna get my wife to turn on the car, and we'll see if the fuel is actually pulsating like it should. Just crank it. Go ahead. Yeah. Nothing. All right, so we just checked it, and sure enough, there's no fuel going through the throttle body injectors. If you guys seen the video, the fuel's just dripping right now. It's supposed to be spraying like a spray bottle, right? And it's supposed to put in fuel. Okay, so this is the throttle body, and this is the throttle body injector. This shoots fuel. And for those of you guys that don't know, usually, well, nowadays, the newer cars, there's dedicated fuel injectors that are mounted usually right above the spark plug because it mixes inside the cylinder. But this being an older vehicle, the injector is in the throttle body, and it's supposed to be spraying. It's not, and the signal for it to spray, if I recall correctly, comes from the map sensor, which is right here. We're gonna try to fiddle with that in a little bit, and then the ECM, or I think that's what it's called on these older vehicles. So for right now,
it's so cold.
It is so cold. I'm shivering. I'm pretty sure they can see it in the camera. We're just gonna try. Let's try reseating these connectors.
The vacuum line too.
Oh yeah, is a vacuum line on there? There's also a vacuum line. So if map.
It's on there though. I don't really want to pull it off.
Yeah, don't pull it. It might be like corroded. I don't want to break it. Let's see. We just reseated the connector. Maybe it just wasn't making good connection. So we'll try that again. Oh my god, it is freaking cold. That. Here you go. I'm gonna try to start it over again. The keys inside.
The keys inside, yeah. No, I don't even see anything coming out.
Perfect.
Oh, that's so exciting.
All right. I'm gonna take this inside. I got a rebuild kit. And then once we go in there, I'll explain why I bought a brand new one instead of going to a junkyard. All right, so like I said earlier, I decided to buy a new fuel injector just because these cars are going on 25 to 30 years old. And yes, I could have bought one from the junkyard, but there's no guarantee that it works. And at this point, with them being almost 30 years old, you might as well just buy a new one because they're bound to fail anyways. So I picked this up from, I think it was AutoZone. $150 for the injector and new gaskets and seals for the throttle body. And for me, it's kind of like a no-brainer. Might as well replace all the parts since we're in here. So we'll get into this. I started taking the whole thing apart. I didn't know that you could just pry this out. So all we did is we got 2 screwdrivers, 2 flatheads, and pried it out of here. And then when I did though, I don't know if you guys can see it in there, there's just a bunch of gunk and dirt buildup. So what my guess is, this was probably just clogged up and dirty. So the reason I believe that it's this is because when I did turn on the key and try to start the car, the fuel injector would just shoot straight fuel instead of spraying it out like our normal spray pattern. So that's why I believe that this was bad. Upon further inspection, it looks like it's just dirty. But since I already have a new injector and these parts are 30 years old, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. So we're gonna clean this out and then we'll put this back together. Key? Alright, go ahead. Yep. Hopefully it starts. Oh yeah, it's a lot better now. Try it again? Yep. Give it some gas. Hey. It's a lot better than what I was doing before. Whoa.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, there you go. It starts. It runs for a little bit. It's a lot more than what it did before. Before you had to hold the starter fluid, and it would only like start for a couple seconds, and then the moment you stop spraying in the starter fluid, it would stop. So already this is doing a lot better. And I looked in here too while it was cranking over, and this spray pattern is 1,000 times better than what the old one was. So now I know for certain that at least that fuel injector was bad because it was not spraying, it was just shooting a straight stream. Try it again.
Let's try it again. There's a brick there, so if you're gonna drive it, let me know.
Alright guys, so as you can see, the Jeep is now in the garage. So the fuel injector worked. I put it in. I'll get a clip of it running just so you guys can see the difference of what it looked like before versus what it looks like now. I initially pulled the Jeep in forward, not thinking about how much easier it would be if it was in backwards. So we obviously pulled it out and backed it in. So now we have all this room, plus we have all this lighting from outside to hopefully start working on the motor a little bit more. So as of right now, the injector does work, but it doesn't idle on its own. So if you're not holding the gas, it'll just completely shut off. So yes, it'll start and yes, it'll run, but you need to have your foot on the gas at least to get some of that fuel air in there. So what we did is we went ahead and ordered the parts. We'll talk about that in the next video, but for now, let me just start it up so you guys can at least see what I meant by the fuel spray pattern. Alright guys, so as you can see, it works at least 1,000 times better for sure. So like I said, we did order some parts. They're coming in the mail today. So once those come in, we'll find some time to put it in, put it on video. But comment down below, what do you guys think it is? I think I ordered the right part. I'll let you guys know what I ordered once it gets here. But again, this is our first time working on this Jeep. It's our first time working on a throttle body injector. This is really our first time like deeply working on a motor like this. So comment down below, give me some tips, some hints, maybe comment what you guys want to see done with this. I know we do have some extra parts for this, and we'll get into that in the next video. We'll do a full walk around. We'll show you what the Jeep looks like on the inside, what's wrong with it, what plans we have for it, what extra parts we have for it, all of those things. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you like the video, make sure you comment down below anything, any sort of tidbit that you want to let us know, or just let us know that you're enjoying the video so far. All right, and don't forget to subscribe.